안녕하세요. 저는 리안입니다.
안녕하세요. 저는 루입니다. Hi everyone, I'm Lou.
I'm Lean.
Okay, today we are going to be looking at Jimin Set Me Free.
Come on.
Jimin, because Lean doesn't know much of the BTS music expansion galaxy world. So what am I saying? I don't even know what I'm saying. But she doesn't know much, especially the new stuff, but definitely the old stuff. She knows like 10 BTS songs. So we're starting with some of their new solo stuff. And yeah, we'll see how this goes. So so as far as Jimin's solo stuff goes, I don't think you know anything really. You know the filter? No? Okay.
I'm trying to think if I've heard any Jimin solo stuff.
Oh, you've heard his MVs you've heard his songs for OSTs for K-drama.
Yeah, I've heard drama. I've heard OSTs, but I don't think I've heard any of his solo stuff. Okay. Until recently, I wasn't aware, apart from August D, that they all had solo stuff going back years. You're a terrible teacher.
I am. Hey, I try to send you links, but you never watched any of it because you're too busy. So
busy.
Okay, so we're going to do that Set Me Free. And it's Set Me Free Part 2 because apparently Sugar had written a Set Me Free song before. So this is kind of a reference to that, but they don't really sound similar, I think.
Okay.
I haven't, Army, correct me if I'm wrong or right. Maybe I'm getting everything wrong here. But okay, this song is very indicative of stuff that Jimin has written in his recent journey from, I would say, 2019, 2020 till now. So this is part of that stuff that he wrote on the side that has been made into music. So, okay, here we go. Yay. This is, by the way, this is one of my most favorite songs. It's on my playlist and I play it probably once or twice a week.
So if I don't like it, you'll cry.
Yeah, I'm going to just reach over and just slap that way. Nope, that way. Slap here.
Yeah. I'll allow that.
Sorry.
Time, yeah, time to get mine. Hammers me roll, hell is at night. I never stop. Dancing with me. I never stop. Fuck your arms, finally free. I get. 기침 멈춰서 나게 돌아보지 않아. 나게 날아가 버려. Fly, finally free. 더 이상 아파도 숨지 않아. 미치지 않기 위해 미치려는 걸. 지나간 나를 위해 손을 들어. Now set me free. It 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 set me free. I can feel it's in the mirror, but I got no time to break it to the river. Typhoon, just get out my way. Shut up, go. She's acting like prime time. Forget. Keep going all night time. 날아가 butterfly. Finally free. Look at me now. 날 비웃어도 멈추지 널 미치지 않기 위해 미치려는 걸 지나간 나를 위해 손을 들어 Now set me free It 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 set me free
Of course, expected of Jimin, it would be a dance song, wouldn't it? Like dancing video.
Exactly.
What was written all over him?
What was what? Written
all
on him. So it's a German poem, I think, and I can pull up the lyrics for it, but it's like talking about like I'm not exactly sure. I remember I read it when it was German. Let's see if I can find it.
You can tell it's a song that's had Suga's influence in it, though. They were very Suga-like lyrics.
Exactly. Okay, here it is.
Especially after recently watching Hegum, they felt very similar in the message they were portraying.
Totally. So it says, I live my life in ever-widening circles that stretch themselves out over all things. I won't perhaps complete the last one, but I intend on trying. I circle around God, around the ancient tower, and I circle for thousands of years, and I don't know yet, am I a falcon, a storm, or a mighty song? That's written on his chest.
That song definitely feels a bit like Jimin having a wee bit of a self-discovery journey, realising that he's better than he's always led himself to believe, and that if he just puts his mind to it and just does his thing, he like can be as up there as the rest of them. Like, he definitely strikes me as somebody that comes across as low self-confidence, low self-worth, and this song is like a message to himself that he can free himself from his own insecurities that is holding himself back and like be free.
Totally. And it's like we all know that that's part of Jimin's psychology, is that he is so hard on himself and he's such a perfectionist and he always outperforms and does the most incredible job, and yet he's like harshest critic, you know.
The video kind of mirrors that. The fact that it was a completely simple set in a dark scene, he's surrounded by dancers, yet he's the dancer that is shining from the middle of them. He's the one that is standing out the most. It feels very symbolic that he felt like he was part of the crowd and he was just an invisible face among the many, and he didn't have much talent. But he shows that even with a simple choreo, that he still stands out as something better than, well, not better, but like is very talented amongst the sea of them. Like, he stands out as an individual. It's very much about starting to have confidence in himself. That's what I'm getting from that video anyway.
That's a good interpretation. I've never heard that before. I know that a lot of times in the BTS videos, you're going to see a running theme of men dressed in darker colors that surround BTS, and sometimes they represent the haters, you know. And so
it also sounds like it also represents the wall of like security that's around them that they can never get outside of, an army can never get in, like the wall that is built around them to protect them, but it also contains them a little bit. So it's like security, but it's also judgments, and it's like they live in this bubble and the rest of the world is outside, and these dark figures always around them are like the faceless people that keep them in that bubble.
Maybe. I also think it also is the demons in this one specifically, like the demons that plague you. Like, you'll notice like they all grab at his clothes, and like especially towards the end when he transforms into like the opposite, the white colored Jimin dressed in white, is like I think that like they might represent his internal demons in this.
Yeah, I was going to say that his own emotional, like the voice in his head telling him he's not good enough, he can't do it, trying to drag him back down when he really just wants to like evolve.
Yeah, and
I'm getting that same thing from that video.
And I also think in like some ways that he is it shows his determination in this, because I don't think he meant to put it that way, but we can see like the persistence of like Jimin hasn't had a really, like, none of the BTS members have had like an easy journey, but I think Jimin in particular, because of him being as hard on himself, he had like a lot of injuries, like especially shoulder injuries and back injuries, and I think like he's just that determination of his to be, and he's always had that like ambition to improve. Like when he joined, he never sang. So he learned to sing, and he questioned whether he was a good singer. And I think there was a moment in a car where Sugar said to Jimin, your voice is my favorite voice, and really encouraged him, because Jimin said, I don't know if I can be a good singer. And like Sugar was like, no, your voice is really good and unique and different, you know. And I think that determination comes through in that song to succeed, you know. So
it definitely is a song about self-awareness and evolving.
Totally.
The video definitely backs that up. It's so simple a video, so simple a concept, but there is a strong message there if you pay attention to it.
Exactly. The other thing I love in this video is the choreography in this. It's like amazing how I also like the, what do you call it? I'm not really good with music. You probably know better than I do. But the like almost opera type feel to it, operatic. Is that a word? Operatic, operatic, operesque.
Anthem theme, like it's an anthem sound.
Anthem, yeah, like that anthem background to it is amazing. So
it's a very big song, even though it doesn't seem like it is.
Yeah, exactly. It's a really big song, and I think like the way they did the choreography was beautifully done. I also love they actually built that set, I think, so that it's like a circular set that like of light and dark, which is really great. I love that.
Is this a song that when it was released I saw a lot of negative feedback about its use of autotune?
That is correct, yes. It is this song, which
People
is ridiculous.
Don't create music, don't understand that is a literal stylized way of making some music.
Exactly.
Yeah, nobody critiqued it in Amygdala, though. Did they even notice?
No, they didn't. Which is like, this is the thing. Jimin gets so much hate that is like ridiculous. Like he's not using autotune in this to enhance his voice. He's using it.
It's a stylized way of music. It is like a genre of music. It's an accepted stylized form of music. It's there to enhance the rest of the song, and it's not like he doesn't have pure moments of no heavy autotuning in this song. He can clearly sing. It's there to enhance the song.
Well, and also I think so if we watch the scene here, you'll notice that the autotune he uses is almost like he's using different voices in his head. So the autotune voice is saying something different to him to what his singing voice says.
Yeah, when the video started, I thought there was something wrong with the sound, because the voice that came out first, I was like, that's not Jimin's voice.
What is it? So, but you can hear elements of it in it. I also like that he's rapping in this in some parts, which he's never done before. So it shows
like he's stayed true to himself in the whole dancing, and he made his choreo very dance school choreo, not just regular K-pop dancey. It's like showcases his talents choreo.
Totally. He says Hennessy a night, so
that's his alcohol consumption.
Yeah, and I mean, Koreans in general drink a lot of alcohol, but I think
didn't he go through a phase of literally admitting that he was drinking too much at night to get through? So that's him just facing his little demon right there.
Exactly, and also what he did was I think it was during COVID when everything changed. He ended up going through like a very bad patch. And I think from what I'd read, Army, correct me if I'm wrong, the other members did almost an intervention in a way to like see if he was okay. But they've done that in the past with him, I think, with his diet as well, because sometimes he's very hard on himself and doesn't eat. And I think the new Jimin, not new Jimin, what should I say, older Jimin is wiser when it comes to diet than he did when he was younger, you know. So, especially when he had, I think around the release of Filter, he starved himself a lot and he ended up passing out and stuff like that. And I think that was obviously not good for him, both mentally and physically. So I think he's learned from that, I hope. And I know that even for this, he's been on a strict diet and he's very hard on himself. And it sucks that they do that, you know. But I can see why they do, because they want to look good on the camera and stuff. But
camera adds £10.
Yep.
Does that mean I'm skinny in real life?
See, so he's swapping between the auto-tune voice and his voice. I'm standing at the edge.
Yeah, it's definitely like a conversation with himself, the voice in his head.
Yeah. So his butterfly is you can see the butterfly move, flyaway butterfly. It's like, I think he's doing that parallel of, you know, a butterfly's metamorphosis as well.
Yeah, evolves and flies.
Yeah, exactly. Going insane to stay sane. Raise your hands for the past me, now set me free. Yeah, definitely about him. Again, a rebirth, I guess, theme that we're seeing here.
It definitely follows along the same kind of thing that Augustus Hagum did, about finding yourself and moving on and becoming someone else.
Exactly. Alrighty, well, that was Jimin Set Me Free. Do you think you're going to add that to your song list?
Yeah, I like that one too.
Yeah.
So far, I don't think any of the songs we've listened to are like I've liked them all, so they're all going on a playlist. Fantastic. Which should make you very happy.
Yay! I don't have to keep sending you links now. I'm like, listen to this, hear this, and you never do. You're like, whatever. So now
I do sometimes tell lies.
Exactly. It's so funny. It's like, so I enjoy The Rose, and I've listened to The Rose for years. And about a year ago, I started sending Lean some links to The Rose. She never opens them. I know she doesn't.
I did open a couple of them, but I just didn't. What I do is, if I'm busy and you send a link, I'll click on it, it'll open, I'll listen to 0.00005 seconds. If it does not grab my interest instantly, I'll close it again. So I have opened them.
So I kept saying to her, you got to listen to Wuso from The Rose. And she was like, me. And then, how did you fall into it? You watched something?
I was on Facebook and a video came up in the feed on one of my friends' Facebooks. And it was a video for, what is their new one called?
Snooze? Because you have watched Snooze. That's the one.
It's a video of them running about in the rain singing to one of their new tracks. And it made me stop and watch it. And I was like,
back to me.
Do I know who these people are? Well, this is a cool song. And then I sent you the video and said, how cute are these wee dudes? This is a cool song. And you were like, what's the freaking reference? And I was like,
I've seen it to you a million times.
So I went to YouTube and I found that video. And then I was like, I should make Louise happy. I'll listen to it properly. And then 4 hours later, I'd bought all their albums and downloaded them on my PC. And I was like, Louise, my favorite song in the whole world is Face Me. Wu-Sang's amazing. I love his voice. Oh my God. So that's what happened.
So now she's obsessed. She's now The Rose obsessed.
So. Actually, their song Come Back to Me has inspired an entire book. And Phase Me is going to be, so when I write books, I have a playlist. They 2 songs are the entire playlist for an entire book. So I'm going to have to dedicate that book to The Rose and Wu-Sung, because Phase Me is his solo from the Moth.
Yeah.
But Come Back to Me is The Rose's release. I'm going to have to give them a whole book because the whole story came from 2 songs.
So Lean likes writing books with a lot of angst and conflict between the male and female lead. Like there's a lot of like betrayal, and it's like a daytime
Psychology is
drama.
a hobby, so the more the better.
Yeah, so those two songs definitely have a lot of conflict in them for sure. So
yeah, about being a rubbish boyfriend in one, and the other one's about having a rubbish girlfriend. So
that's true.
it's inspired a whole book, and it's going to be called Your Toxic Love.
Oh, there we go.
And I'm going to play those songs on repeat until I'm so sick of the sound of them. But for right now, Phase Me is my ringtone.
And we
is what
can't
you're
even react to
battling
the
with.
Rose on this channel because we both know the Rose. So unless
Oh,
there's
yeah.
a new Rose song that comes out, we can't react to it. So because we both listen to all the Rose songs.
I think, I've listened to absolutely every single Rose song in existence, even one going back like 11 years ago.
See, we're honest. If we've listened to a song, we're not going to react to it. So
Really? But are you jealous?
One of us, at least one of us. So.
Are you jealous how easy my journey into becoming a Black Rose was, as opposed to my journey into becoming ARMY is?
It's hard. ARMY's hard because BTS is a lot.
Yeah, I think that's what put me off initially, is they have so many. Because when I like a band, I like to like go through their entire catalog and get to know their songs. And it's easy for the Rose because even like they've been around for a long time, but there isn't that many songs.
Yeah,
and like all their like past 5 years ones, like there's not that many.
Yeah.
Whereas our BTS are like at points they were releasing a song a month. That's what it felt like, and there is so many that it sometimes feels a bit overwhelming. And then you go and you see all these ARMY posts, and they're like listing all this stuff about BTS that you've never even heard of. And you're like, do you need to know this to be ARMY? And it just seems like work.
It does. That's why we're doing the reaction channel, because then it's an opportunity for you and I to catch up on everything and enjoy music at the same time. So
can you see me melting?
Is it hot? Hot in Scotland.
It's a heat wave and I'm melting out of my clothes. My hair's progressively been getting limper and limper. Shining more and more. And my face, this is not blush. This is, I am going to die.
You look like you've got a glow. So you're good.
I'm glad it looks like a glow over there, because in a mirror it definitely does not look like a glow.
Alrighty, guys. Well, that was Set Me Free. We're not sure what we're going to react to next. Put in the comments what you think we should react to next. I don't know where to start with her journey, because, as I said, she only knows like 10 BTS songs. So
yeah, so if you want to pick a song for me that you think will get me hooked, like all it took was one song from the Rose to get me hooked. You need to find that magic song, and then I'll be like hooked. It
seems as if Lean likes rap. Like she likes, obviously I'm going to introduce her to more stuff on D-Day, but yeah, she likes, she doesn't know much from the other rappers in BTS. She doesn't know RM stuff. She doesn't know J-Hope stuff.
I like rap, I like rock, I like indie rock, I like pop music. I like not so much slow and chill mellow music. I have to be in the mood for that. So my regular listening is music that has a good
to it. Yeah. So yes, please suggest some stuff for Lean to listen to. We might also revisit the Love Me Again, so that we can link that, because we feel like we didn't do a good job with our reaction to his slow dancing, just because we didn't link the theme that was running through there enough. And I only understood slow dancing like after I'd listened and watched it a few times after our reaction.
And I didn't understand it because I had never seen the first one.
Yeah, she hasn't seen his other two songs, so from the new album, from Layover. So yeah, but thanks, Lean, and we will chat to you guys and see you guys soon.
안녕, kissimnita.
Bye. 안녕.